What is up, guys? It has been a while since I've come out with a new video. Got to get better at that. You know, when you're working on stuff, sometimes videoing becomes a second thought, and you're like, "Oh, just screw it. I just need to get this done." And then afterward, you're like, "I should have filmed that. That would have been cool." But anyway, I am back at it. Super excited to be filming again and working on this car that's behind me that I picked up almost 2 months ago now. But yeah, anyway, I just over the past month had customer cars working on, which was kind of top priority. In the process of that, cut my finger with an angle grinder, had to get 5 stitches. That was 2 weeks burnt, just couldn't really use my hands, or this hand at least, but what good is just one hand when you're working on cars? Yeah, so that took up a good amount of time. Got the dart out of my hair, the green dart that I had. That car found a new home. Then had a 74 Plymouth Satellite, just shipped out to Ohio yesterday to some really cool guys out there. So I was happy to have that work out. Got that car out of my hair, and picked up another car that I don't need, but I wanted. Not really sure if I'm gonna let this one slip out of my hands anytime soon. I'm pretty stoked about it. I'll have a video coming out of that one soon. But anyway, this video is about this car behind me that I'm finally getting back on working on. So yeah, let's check it out. So here is the car, a 1972 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. This was the last call for the first gen of Monte Carlo, 70 to 72. I think the best gen. I think overall everyone likes the first gens the most. But, you know, the Monte Carlo's always been cool. I mean, I don't know if they really ever made a bad one, maybe until like the 2000s or something. But even, you know, like the later 80s G-body ones, I believe they're called, they're even pretty cool. So Monte Carlo always was a pretty cool car. But yeah, these first gens are definitely, you know, the muscle car era. They're like the toughest ones. And this was the last year for that. But yeah, so this was kind of like GM's first personal luxury car. It's basically a Chevelle with, you know, sheep's clothing, and actually if you look around, there's no Chevy emblems on it. Just find it. So it's got the little Monte Carlo Knight emblem on it, and, you know, the word Monte Carlo, but you actually, I don't think you can really find a Chevy emblem on it, you know, because this was a Monte Carlo. Chevy's kind of the lower end of GM, so Monte Carlo needs to be a luxury car. It can't be a Chevy. I think that's pretty much the idea behind that. But you can even see it's got the original Fullerton Cone Chevrolet license plate frame. Yeah, this is a true survivor California car. Super straight car, super complete car. Only rust I found a little on the bottom of each fender, and then there was a little bit of Bondo work. You can see where they kind of faded some new paint in on each side of the quarter panel around here. You know, probably got hit or something. You know, 50 years. You know, car gets driven, but this is a really nice example of a car that survived those 50 years, and it's in really good shape, super complete. You know, I mean, that's how I like to find them. Interior's really complete. The dash is in great shape, steering wheel's in good shape, it's all there. Door panels are in really nice shape, and, you know, it being a desert car, it got a little chewed up on the seats. You know, that stuff dries out pretty quick, but it's all there. Headliner's there, falling apart, probably gonna rip that out, but, you know, at least it's there. Under the hood, you got a reliable 350 4-barrel Quadrajet, and this motor already runs pretty good too. Just, you know, doing the funnel method. It does need a fuel pump, got that. I'm gonna do a carb rebuild on it. Needs spark plug wires, some of them are pretty chewed up. But yeah, I mean, this engine, this is a good base. This engine is, I cleaned it up a bit, degreased it, got some of that orange coming out. So, you know, it just needs a typical, you know, tune-up of sitting for like, I think it's been sitting 20 years. At least was the last tag. I don't know how much was driven before that, but you can even see how just huge the shroud is on these. Like I mean, it's insane to me. I mean, it's the biggest shroud I've seen on a car. So yeah, before I got caught up with other stuff, I got the brakes working, put new front hoses on it. It is disc in the front. Everything else works. I'll probably bleed them again. What else did I do? And just got it running. So that's kind of where we're at. Didn't do too much to it yet, but yeah, this thing is gonna live. So now it's time to really turn it up a notch and get this thing on the road. Yeah, so today, going to pop the carb off, start cleaning that up, getting it all rebuilt, and then we'll move on from there. So yeah, let's pop that carb off. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I got fuel coming out over here. Gas from. Huh. All right, so attempted to start the car last night with this new carb, well, with the rebuilt carb, and it is not liking it. The Quadrajet, I've only dealt with one other one, and they can be kind of tricky in my experience, especially with a couple of the metering rods. It's kind of a fiasco putting it together. It's like you got to hold them down and put the carb down at the same time, or they'll pop out. And actually, I think someone has been in this carb, just based on some things I could see around it, and I think someone just didn't rebuild it correctly, and I think that is one of the things that led to this car possibly being off the road. The metering rods, I have a picture of it, were actually bent. So I think, which is part of the problem of putting these together, is it's very easy to have those metering rods pop out of the jets, and when you put it together, tighten it down, they actually can get bent. So that's one of the hard parts of putting it together. You have to like hold the rods down with a screwdriver. You have to slide the gasket over them. Also, it's not fun. And I think I got that in there well, but I am also getting fuel out of the side of the blades over here, leading me to think something's up with the float. It might be getting flooded. Yeah, so anyway, there's a few things I'm gonna check out that I kind of was thinking might cause a problem. So I'm gonna pull the carb off, and we're gonna check it out. All right, so engine is kind of dismantled right now. So yeah, pulled the carb off. Haven't even messed with it because I had noticed that the oil in the engine was super watered down, you know, chocolate milk looking. So I had pressure washed the motor, and I should have ran it right after I pressure washed it, but I didn't. You know, when I started, the oil was black, so I never thought it had a blown head gasket. I assumed just water had gotten in through dried, you know, gaskets and stuff, which was confirmed when I drained the oil, let it drain for a while, was gonna fill it up with new oil, put it in, and it just started gushing out of this driver's side valve cover. It wasn't even making it down to the crankcase. So that gasket was shot. So water basically had a total entry point through both of these valve covers. So, you know, the water just getting in there, mixing with the oil. So there you go. So at least not a blown head gasket, but that doesn't even matter at this point because I am pulling the heads today. So once I confirmed that valve cover gasket was bad, I could also tell that someone had taken off this valve cover before. It was missing a couple washers. I think what happened is someone took the valve cover off, went to inspect it and put it back on the old gasket, and you know, there's zero sealing going on because this rocker arm was super loose. So went ahead, pulled it off, checked the push rod, it was straight. The spring didn't seem to be stuck at all. The stud didn't pull out, which I think can happen on these small blocks. The rocker arm stud didn't pull out. So I assumed the adjustment was just off. Went ahead and pulled this one off to compare it to, and everything seemed to check out. So we're just gonna put it back on and adjust it correctly, which I think is why someone pulled the valve cover off. But on the other side, I have the rocker arm off too. Or I can show you right here. This spring is broken. Right here, and you know, just the more and more, you know, with things over here being off, things over here being off, I am gonna pull the heads and either put new ones on or have it rebuilt at this point. I have a feeling I'm gonna fix one thing and then another thing's gonna appear. You know, this is only after checking 3 of the valves. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull the heads today, either have them rebuilt or replace them. I'd like to have the original ones rebuilt, but I'm gonna see what is the most cost-effective route to go. But yeah, so that is where we are at right now. So it is gonna be a bit of a dismantling of things under the hood today. We're gonna pull those heads off, and then yeah, then we'll see where we're at.
right, so got the engine long block pretty much, I mean, you know, completely torn apart. Looks like a Monte Carlo threw up all over here. Heads are what I expected, just, you know, greasy, dirty, just old small block Chevy heads. But yeah, gonna be rebuilding those. Went ahead and took the lifters out. Here's a good example of how it should look, nice and flat. And then you get some that look like this. This one's even worse, has some pitting on it. It's about probably more than half of them have some kind of dish starting. So today, first things first, gonna pull the cam, check it out. Most likely it's probably also getting worn down, but hey, maybe it's not. So hopefully it's not, so I don't have to get a cam for this thing too. But yeah, so let's get on it. the full rebuild is done. Heads are done. New cams in, lifters, intakes back on. Ended up even needing to get a new radiator because the old one was leaking like crazy and it was not repairable with solder, so had to get a new one. But finally I am going to break it in right now. Got my fancy timing light that also reads RPM just for fun to see. I'm going to be running it about 1500 to 2000, but I'll probably stay around 1500. Yeah, so let's fire this thing up and get it back on the road. Let's do it. It's a bit windy out here right now, but that is a wrap on the 72 Ace Ventura style Monte Carlo. This car really cleaned up nice. Probably my favorite car so far that I've had up for sale. I mean, probably the one I'd want to keep the most, honestly. It's just cleaned up really nice. That 350 just looks great, looks stock, and the thing really runs good and sounds good. Even got a seat cover in there now, looking really good. By the time this video's up, I think this car is gonna be sold. I have someone coming within an hour actually right now anyway. If I don't clarify it in the video, then it is still available, but I think it's gonna be gone pretty quick. But yeah, so that is a wrap on the Monte Carlo. Got new videos coming out, tons of cars going on, and I will see you guys next time.